Greetings, this is Chester with the Sampleist, and our sonic journey today is Heavyocity Vast. Before we dive in, I'd like to make it crystal clear that the copy of this sound design tool we're reviewing was graciously provided to us by the developer. However, let me assure you that our commitment to delivering honest and transparent reviews remains unwavering. Our goal is to arm you with all the information you need to decide if Vast deserves a spot in your composer toolkit. Vast stands out as the expressive designer tool that redefines audio manipulation. It's not confined to the realms of mere delay and reverb. This powerhouse extends its arms into intuitive controls, innovative impulses, and unique rhythmic echoes, crafting a true playground for creative experimentation. Imagine transporting your sound to new, impossible spaces. Vast is your vessel for this sonic odyssey, with a rich palette of options spanning real acoustic spaces and beyond. Whether it's the intimate vibe of ambient rooms, the grandeur of majestic halls, or the boundless expanse of immense spaces, Vast delivers. Each reverb is designed to imbue your productions with distinct sonic personality and character, catering to an array of production needs. But where Vast truly sets itself apart is its rhythmic patterns. This feature transforms any ordinary sound source into an inspiring rhythmic groove with its tempo-synced convolutions and echoes, enabling you to swiftly sculpt a beat from the simplest of sounds. At its core, Vast is a designer's playground, offering a custom signal flow that lets you define your own chain of effects modules. With flexible routing and in-depth controls, you can rearrange gate, EQ, delay, convolution, compressor, and mix modules to achieve your desired effect, elevating your sonic signature to unprecedented heights. And the journey doesn't end there. Vast invites you to load your own audio files as impulse response sources, opening up endless possibilities for crafting unique reverbs and ensuring your sound remains unparalleled. Coupled with the auto resonance feature for fine-tuning effects and eliminating unwanted resonances, Vast stands out as the ultimate space creator, offering textures and reverbs for crafting non-traditional and unique sonic environments. Let's now explore the presets this Impulse engine has to offer. Vast. Listen to that reverb. Wow. Lush Synth Hall is the default preset that opens, although sometimes I remember seeing Lush Scoring Hall open too, so I guess kind of changes on me a little bit. Maybe that's my head. I don't know. I opened up drums to start off for us to learn some reverb. The idea here is we have dry drums, or as dry as we can get them. Awesome. All right, so we can go through here and there are a bunch of presets are tailor-made for us. We have reverbs and all the types of reverbs that we can select. Look at all these. It's just crazy the amount that we get out of the gate. A bunch of guitar options, drums. We got quite a few here, vocals. And then what's really fun are these last three, these creative textures, creative echoes, and reverses. And then in here, we can create our own. So if you click the folder here, you get a bunch of IRs to choose from. And I love how all the columns are set up. We can click these for our favorites, which is fantastic. We have all the links here. We can sort those if we need. We have types and names. We can also filter. So if we only want textures, we can do that. And we're only filtering by type. Awesome. Initialize. I don't see it. So we'll just have to grab. In fact, you know what? We have drums open. Let's just open up drums, punch the kit. And we have Vast as an insert right now. Over here's our dry wet mix where we can blend the reverb in. So that's what we're hearing. And we can bring the original signal in. What's really great about this UI, because the reverb is actually pretty simple, but it's also so complex at the same time. I haven't seen a bunch of these options for a reverb. You hover your mouse over something and you can get the instructions. So that's going to come in very handy, as I've only just started kind of using Vast here. So we have this display mode where we can switch between viewing the amplitude waveform or the frequency spectrum of the impulse response. Let's look at spectrum. Ooh. We have an animation here that shows us our signal going through the impulse response, just like we do here. That's fantastic. All right, so I'm going to assume also if I maybe make this at 50%, I can go to convolution. Yeah, and we have the mix here. So actually, let me go to 100. And we're only hearing 14% of this convolution. So if we turn this up, you can hear more. Let's go like 32. And this gate's going. So the gate is the first effect in the chain. So we have the gate, we can solo it. We can turn it on or off, and we can look at some options here. Detector source, we can choose any of these. We can set high pass and low pass of that source. And then we have our gate options, which is threshold. Love this visualizer, that's pretty great. So it looks like we're seeing what is being gated and how it's being gated. And so we have a really high attack, real fast, kind of a mid release here, somewhat fast. And our ratio is set at 4:8. So it's doing a pretty good job of gating what it needs. If we turned it off, yeah, we're gonna have more going on there. So it's only allowing the transient kind of through to hit the convolution, which is next in line. And so we can look at this and we can see we can tempo sync our convolution and its size. Oh, that's cool. That's what tempo sync means. As I try to change my size, it only gives me options related to the tempo. We can also set a pre-delay here. That is also set to, note duration. That's cool. If I turn this off, yep, now pre-delay is time. And now I have full ability to kind of set this. Turn this back. Okay, now I have to, yeah, awesome. Again, we have the same options here, turning them on, off, solo. And then we can update things like pitch. So we can transpose it, which you can do some things like bloom. Here, let me turn this all the way up. Then we can hear what we're doing with it. I'm going to turn all these off for the moment. Maybe leave that on. Lush is modulation. So you can make modulated reverb by using it. We have resonance. Removes resonant peaks from the impulse response. These peaks are automatically detected when the impulse response is loaded. That's pretty smart. We have diffusion, adds complex and dense early reflections that help to smear the impulse response. Could come in handy on some of our later. We have fade in, fade out, high width, adding more width to the stereo image for high frequencies and low frequencies separately. We have a gain and a mix. EQ, love that this is here and you can actually manipulate the EQ this way. Here if you want. And then you also can do it down here with the bands. So you can set these. Can I turn this to a filter? Yeah. We have 6 and 12 dB options, and then we can set that. And I believe we can see, yeah, if I turn that off, actually, and then can see the incoming signal coming through. And this is post reverb, so we are EQing the reverb and the drums. You can also probably EQ before. Which is great if you want to do the old Abbey Road EQ. You can do that before or after. Kind of listen to see what works for you. You can also hear what you want to tame from an EQ perspective. This is super powerful, and then you can decide the mount. So you can dial that back if you felt like that was too much EQ. We have a compressor. You can move these around any way you wish. Looks like just output stays at the end, which would make sense because input's going to stay over here. With compressor, similar settings to gate. We have internal detector sources where we can set internal, dry signal, or external. We have high pass, low pass options. We have a threshold, attack. We have makeup gain, a mix, release, and ratio. Yep, and we're going to see how the compressor manipulates our waveform. Next up, delay. We have time options where we can sync just like we did with convolution. We can also turn that off, and now we have milliseconds. We have a spread. Sets the delay audio quality. The exact behavior will depend on the selected model. That's pretty sweet. So it depends on analog or digital. We have a different quality option. I'm going to turn this all the way up. Let's turn these others off for a second. Pitch feedback. When active, the pitch shifter will come after feedback. So each echo will change. Yeah, which that's why we're hearing that. The modulation. Yeah, that's great. Mod rate. That delay is awesome. Yeah, so you just got to make it a rhythm that's going to work with your drums, and you got a really fun modulated effect here that's kind of in the background. That's fun. Now the output, it looks like we have three options here at the end that we can have, or we can just turn off. We have reverb and not probably a second one, and this is probably going to be not like IR. Or maybe it is, and there's specific ones here, but this is another reverb option. So we have plate, spring, ambience, studio, library, soundstage, concert hall, and then we can set a tone and a mix. This might be the same for all of them. Yep, sweet. Plate's always fun. Spring is also always fun. Ooh, Dark Spring. Here's a tone. What does this tell us? Select the style of tone controls. We have shelf or filter. And then so we can decide to kind of shelf the low and the high of the final result here, or we can filter it. One or the other. So I won't be able to filter the low and shelf the high. Yeah, one or the other. And then clipping. So I can set a saturation, soft, hard clip, or high quality, which probably might take some more CPU, I'm sure. Which is why it's labeled that way. And then I can set threshold. What's great is we're going to see that there. And I bet, yeah, we're going to start seeing there too. So we'll see where we're clipping it. And we can go all the way down to 12 dB. Which makes Vast really awesome for adding as an insert. Look at all the options that you can just have here alone if you set this as an insert. I can have a gate. I can turn all these off and just have a simple gate and clip. Or if I want the EQ in there too, and compression. Which this could be great as a parallel processing chain too. So yeah, as an insert, this could be really fun. And this is a reverse here, so I can toggle that to be a reverse. I wonder if that changes anything for us. And it does, wow. I can set the start and end of how we want this impulse response, which is also fantastic. By the way, if you have your own impulse responses, you can drag and drop them right into the UI and you can work from there. If you have your own impulse responses, you drop them right in here and it'll add them. Let's grab vocals. Bright lo-fi room. I'm going to shut the reverb and delay off on here and just make sure that these are off as well. Cool. So anything we hear is going through Vast. Large modulated hall. Warm vocal plate. I know we're doing a review of Vast here, but Vocalese is awesome. I'm a huge fan of these libraries as well. And they sound really great through Vast. There's not much I would change here. Most any of these presets are pretty out of the box, just sounding great for any of the options that we need. With a couple changes, you can kind of start making your own synths, vocal synths, even. Or this kind of sounds lo-fi synth pad. This delay is very powerful. It almost can kind of manipulate pitch even and just kind of synthesize it. Convolution does too. So if you use this EQ and kind of decide which one you're going to tame, get this compressor kind of going in a spot, use the compressor and the gate to kind of create like a ADSR, and you got a synthesizer here even, and you just decide what your sample sound is and just grab anything from Contact or from an audio file, anything. You know, that's really cool. This output, you probably can do some fun things with this too. All right, so now we add this reverb at the end here. And just kind of contains things a little bit, so let's dial that back. Got this filter, which is great because I usually tend to roll things off around 16 to 18 kilohertz if I have some synthesizer-y stuff, because I know that that tends to be a problem for some of the mixing or mastering engineers. Although I wonder if I would just put this compressor, you almost make it a limiter, I'm sure. With the ratio we have, it's All right, enough of that. Let's see what else we have. I would save this preset as a favorite. That sounds incredible. I think there's a great mix here of realistic reverb options versus kind of otherworldly or effects type reverb options. Now we're moving into creative textures. So let's go to what we mean by kind of like more real reverb options. So let's see if we have like is there a vocal room? Sometimes we'll see this. We have studio room. These are great start to anyone who kind of grabs these. By the way, with this EQ, you can go here and reset, and then you can say get IR resonances. Ones. So it'll know the resonances and help correct them for you automatically. All right, we'll have some fun with creative textures. All right, so for this next part of the walkthrough, we're gonna try some of these creative textures. I grab Foundations piano, so then we can hear that note and we can hear how it's being applied. And I know this delay with being how amazing it is, definitely helping make that shimmer gaze kind of happen. All right, this next one's the depths. And the source BPM can be changed. It's just kind of telling you the source BPM of the IR, impulse response waveform. I was gonna say it sounds like a cymbal, and then I see gong rattle as the IR response, impulse response. I wonder what that sounds like reverse. Look how quick and easy that is to just know. Yeah, that's cool. How easy it? I wonder how easy it is. Just change this, and does everything stay? Yep. very quick and easy. We just turn our piano into a pad. Still in creative textures. Now, I don't know if this is just kind of how it was installed, but it is not in alphabetical order, but I think it's going through a different order than what is there. What a tail that just put on our piano. Stereo dancers, so this is messing with panning using a panner impulse response. Doing something really fun here with the delay and convolution reverb for sure. Then probably compressing it like crazy. Yeah, that's really cool. Rain Machine is the impulse response here. And it's here again for this up and down preset. Again, so easy to just listen to it in reverse if we want to hear how that would sound. Ghostly voices. Dropping marbles. Sweet. Yeah, dropping marbles, that sounds awesome. Pad maker, yeah. Definitely sounds like a synth. So a little shortcut there. I can turn the reverb on or off, and then I can set all the dry wets all here. If I'm not selecting it, if I am selecting it, then it kind of goes away, and then I get my mix options here. It's pretty smart. I can set my input gain and my output gain as well. I don't think I went over those yet. Popcorn rising. Let's look at creative echoes. So here we can see, and this is probably where the name engine comes in with impulse engine, is movement. Not only with the delay, but with kind of where we're going with the convolution. To hear that, let's try this. Yeah. So the delay is off. That's all convolution there. Now we add the delay back. And it's adding more delay to what we are currently hearing. All right, so we have sprinkles here. That's really fun. Kind of adds more. These creative textures, or the echoes, they would go really well as an insert. And some of them too, I'm sure, as returns, but you're going to have to kind of dial them in for that. All right, we'll do one more. Ping Pong Dreams. Yeah, I can definitely hear that traveling around the stereo spectrum there. Going left to right. That must be set here, I'm sure. All right, let's look at reverses, murky swells. cymbal rising. So the piano's going through a cymbal. I mean, this is a great companion to any sound designer. Adding a lot of harmonics to what's already there. So you can get some really fun risers with this. And also not just virtual instruments, but you can also, record vocals, guitar, bass, anything you got in your studio. You can run it through Vast and you can get amazing results off the bat. Definitely, if you get yourself, some free time, try that out. That's one of the next things I'm going to be doing with this tool is kind of grabbing a tambourine. I got a train whistle, some of these other things. I'm just going to throw a bunch of those sounds through here and get some really fun results. So, I mean, the time that you can use with this, endless. Ability to move all these elements around and make them work for you, as well as all the impulse responses that we get at our fingertips here. Fantastic. This is a really fun tool, and it's something that's going to be very useful to a lot of people for a very long time. Well done. All right, now let's check out the track that we made with Vast. right, the Heavyocity, bunch of their libraries on sale right now. And I thought it was a great opportunity to dive into Heavyocity. This is before I was asked to do the Vast review. This is a great opportunity for me to just dive into all those libraries. So I ended up buying Mosaic Voices, which is awesome. Vocalese 3, fantastic. We'll dive into that in a second. I already had Gravity, bought that last year. Scoring Guitars, Volume 2. I had Volume 1 last year. All the foundations, I tried to add them in a bit. And then Rock Damage Kit. And then I got Damage 2 last year. So used a lot of these tools to make this song work with Vast. It was a lot of fun. So with this being my first song using a lot of their libraries, thanks to that sale, let's talk about them. The song, I believe, started with this. Now, the first thing I wanted to try with Vast was showing a room slap. Slap back, delay, and reverb. Took the delay out though. Didn't want too much delay. Actually, let me say this first. When making a song like this and you're going to add a lot of reverb like I did, I stripped all reverb and all delay from every preset and sample, knowing that I was going to use Vast like crazy everywhere. So this guitar phrase here, it originally had delay and reverb on it, the MIDI and the contact instrument. I took it all off and then I added this Vast, and so I wanted a slap back with this exact phrase. It had delay on it. I took the delay off and I messed with the mix knobs here. They're your friends. I did look at some of this. I didn't feel like the gate was needed. Thought the compression was fine. Love the visuals. They're so easy to use. If I wanted to get some compression on this, I could have. I ended up using something else for compression. I could actually take that off. And then convolution, reverb, and the EQ. And I did apply this EQ like a kind of like a Abbey Road EQ, removing lows and highs. We fiddled with mix till we liked the sound, and then I look at output each time because you can add additional reverb, model some tone if you'd like, set up your clipping. I'm actually going to remove that because I have a clipper elsewhere. And that was that's how I set up that scoring phrase. That kind of helps the song move along as like a part A. In addition to that, let's just keep going with guitars. We added Foundation's nylon guitar to give a different element to the piece. Kind of sounds like this. You're going to hear the strings take that same part later. Now, what I did here with Vast is I used this cool gated waves. And we have the gate going. I switched it to triplet eighths. I think it by default 16ths, and I wanted it a little slower. And notice how you can move these around with ease, which is fantastic. So this preset has the convolution first, gate afterwards, so that you're gating that reverb and cutting it off like it is, which is giving it that motion. You can visually see it, which is fantastic. If I wanted to compress that, I could. That's going to do something to it, which is a lot of fun. I'm not going to compress it. This EQ was modeled here already, which was awesome. I liked what it was doing, so I left it. And then delay, it didn't have any. That might have made some interesting things here. I'm just going to remove both of those. I think we can hear I'll leave that reverb in. It sounds nice. And that's how we made more movement to that nylon. And I have it turned down, so it's just almost like another pad. In the background, you can kind of hear the melody, and then in the second part, the these staccato strings take that melody over. The final guitar part are these two scoring guitar phrases, hard panned, provide more stereo width. They share a vast, also cool, bright room, which was very similar to that slapback. Very similar. I don't think we need that gate, do we? Oh, it comes in heavy. Yeah, I like that. The gate sounds awesome, actually. Now that I hear it, I do want that. The compressor, we don't need that. We do need the convolution. That's the important part. Using the Loom Hall 01, if we wanted to switch that, we can just click on that here and find what we like. The delay. I might take the delay off. That's a very busy part, and that delay might make it harder to hear things. We have a EQ going on here. Sounds great. A lot of reverb. I actually might turn that down slightly. Then we're in the output. Again, I'm going to remove that soft clip. I have a clipper elsewhere as well. Yep, so that's the guitar parts. Next up, let's just go to bass. This is going to be the easiest one. I don't think we're even using Vast. We're using the Foundation synth bass. I did buy Mosaic bass. I used it in a song yesterday, so I decided to go with Foundations. Awesome bass. All the Foundation plugins that you see here are free on Heavyocity's website. They're all excellent. So if you don't have them already, definitely go pick those up and you're gonna have a lot of fun. All of them sound great. Let's go up to drums. We have two different types of drums kind of going on here, taking turns. Breaks and the intros, I have Damage 2. Just kind of spaciously playing kind of a loop. And then I have Vast warehouse drums. So it just sounds huge and in the back, just kind of like it's taking up a whole space. And then I did a little bit of the opposite. These rock drums, first time using them, and they are huge. And they seriously sound so great. They're massive. I feel like even with all the processing I did, I maybe even over-processed them, but they just sound so good and they're so easy to work with. I used tight drum room. I did take the reverb and everything off it, but it just still sounded like there's a room there, and I just ended up adding this, and I added it very subtly. In fact, if I look at this drum Vast, I do have it turned down a bit here, and but any reverb that we hear is coming from that return track, just for those drums. This was something I wanted to do in the break build, just kind of have a call and response, and the response is the piano to the guitar part. So do we have Vast on this? We do not. We just have the Foundations piano just kind of playing, and then it's going to the orchestral Vast, the main big room that I have with all the instruments. So just a little piano part, just kind of rocking there. And it's panning. It's panning hard left and right in automation. Let's see here, staccato strings. I don't have Vast on it. I did originally, and I want the staccato to not be noisy, busy. And I wanted it really quiet in the background of this verse. So just kind of providing rhythm, but it is going to the big orchestral Vast. All right, vocals. This is where a lot of the fun was. We start with Mosaic voices. This is the only instrument that I wanted reversed. It sounds like this without the reverse. I believe it's doing the same bass line, which is the bass line, I listened to how that guitar lick was going and I made a similar bass line to it. So this vocal is doing the same, but when I apply vast, now it's in reverse. So we have some delays starting off, then we have convolution, making some real ambience as it's reversed. We have some EQ here and compression at the end. I have it mixed all the way to 100%. I want all of it in reverse. And then we have take clipping off again. Although it's with saturation, I don't think it matters either way. And it's a quiet part. It might not be getting too loud. This reverb, this plate, so we're definitely in outer space with all this going on here. So that's Mosaic Voices. The next one is Foundations Emotive Choir. It's just going down to the return. We have some phrases, these vocalese phrases. I wish I would have bought these libraries a long time ago when they came out. And I think this is my best purchase of 2024 so far. These libraries are insanely fantastic. So easy to use. The phrasing on these are awesome. Even the other presets that they provide, the patches, so easy to use, and you can definitely dial up some processing and get them working pretty quickly. Now, with it being the vocal part, I kind of left them also open. I don't have any vast on these, but they are going to the return channel as well. Just kind of let them be their own and the forefront. Moving in to the risers, we have Gravity Riser 1. Each one of these has kind of a fun little thing that kind of happens with them. So Vast has a shimmer bloom, which was something I really liked trying out. I have a riser that will play its part, and it will end at 11 on the beat there, but this shimmer bloom keeps it going a little bit more. It gives you some more ear candy. This becomes kind of a response to it. A huge piece of why I think I would use Vast on inserts is all the fun modulation that you can do with it if you want to have some ear candy or something kind of after a part. So I played with that a bit. I have it here, and I have one on the 8 bar. Again, the shimmer bloom at the end of the piece. Now we have the synth pads. Originally, I didn't have any Vast on these. I just kind of wanted them in the background, like I mentioned, the guitar, the strings up there. But I did decide to do this, and I'm glad I did. This lush synth hall is exactly what the preset is named. Makes it real big and lush, and which is kind of what I didn't want this synth pad to be. I didn't want it to be big and lush and kind of covering the whole stereo spread. But when I applied it, I changed my mind. It sounded really good. So this is before it. And almost like it contains it more. And so we're dialing in that EQ. We got a delay going, the convolution's going, a nice dry wet mix here, compressor afterwards. We have the output turned off, so none of this is going on. Sounds really good. I want to say this has the same thing. Nope, it does not. This other pad. So the Gremlin Factory, you hear that high modulating those higher tones. Last but not least, our impacts and our stingers. And I don't believe, oh, we do have them on the stingers. Lush Synth Hall. I just applied that and nice tail on it. Just sounded great. Leave it, right? That was a happy accident. And then this one, I dialed this one in a little bit. I wanted to try something here. So I wanted that swell to kind of happen like an echo, like a true echo. I wanted to try that out, and it worked out. So what I did was I grabbed 1 beat swell, I went to delay, I turned sync mode off, moved it to digital 100%. Then I moved this to kind of a time that just sounded right. I probably could have used the click. I did not. If I went back again, I'd maybe turn on the click track and dial this in just to make it perfect. I also have the mix at 100%. I don't want both kind of going on here. I just want that swell to happen. Then it hits the convolution reverb at 100%. So that reverb is going to impact it as well and kind of make it like it's, a distance from here. Then I need the blend at the end, the dry wet, so that both, the original source and the other one plays through like it needs to. And then we have, again, all our reverb tone and clipping at the end if we need. Yeah, so the song is called The Expanse, Eternal Emptiness, 90 BPM in E minor. Thanks for checking it out. It's time to wrap up our journey with some final reflections. It's clear that this tool is more than just an addition to your plugin collection. It's an invitation to redefine the way you interact with sound. With over 200 expertly crafted presets and an extensive library of unique impulse responses, Vast equips you with everything you need to immerse your audio into captivating environments, unlock unique blends for inspiration, and push the boundaries of your sonic landscape. The infinite creative possibilities, groundbreaking level of flexibility, and fully customizable processing chain ensure that your journey with Vast is as unique as your sound. Whether you're looking to explore immersive reverbs, craft the perfect ambience, or venture into unconventional atmospheres, Vast is ready to take you there. For composers, sound designers, and producers alike, Vast is not just a tool. It's a transformative experience that empowers you to shape, mold, and define your sounds in ways previously unimaginable. With its intuitive interface, diverse presets, and innovative features, Vast stands out as a must-have in your digital arsenal. This is Chester signing off from the Sampleist, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you're hungry for more insightful reviews, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay tuned with all things the Sampleist. Until our paths cross again, keep having fun making your music. Cheers.